My name's David Sapiro. I've been on the stock exchange for over 50 years. I joined the stock exchange literally the day after completing my accounting articles at Schwartz, Fine, Kane & Company. My father was a stockbroker, my brother was on the stock exchange, so after completing articles I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and I ended up joining a stockbroking firm where, even with a chartered accountant's degree or qualification, I was a runner on the stock exchange. What that meant is that I would talk to clients on the phone, give them prices and run orders. Literally in those days we used to take orders down on pieces of paper, and I would monitor them, give it to a dealer after the deal booked. You know, it was a very basic job, but what it did do is it gave me an introduction to what was happening on the stock market, understanding how markets worked. So I didn't quite enjoy it. I wanted to be a professional soccer player or an artist. It was the last thing on my mind, that I wanted to get into stockbroking or investment. But as the years went by, I started to warm to it, know a little bit more about it and enjoy it a lot more. So here I am 50 years later. Every day is different. You never know what you're going to be given the next day, and that keeps you on your toes. That means that you have to keep in touch with news literally 24 hours a day. I go to bed at night thinking that I'm rich. I wake up in the morning and I'm poor, simply because of what's happened in international news. I'm exaggerating a little because I've never been rich, but if you understand what I'm saying, things do change quite dramatically, and we're going through a particularly difficult time at the moment. Having come out of COVID, now having to deal with the war in Ukraine, so every day tests you, and I think I found that the most exciting part of what I do. How do you build wealth? That's quite controversial, because it's different from preserving wealth. And what I have found is that after monitoring people's savings for such a long time, I find that some of the traditional ways of keeping your wealth no longer work. In other words, because we're living longer, I think that's actually a problem, because your wealth has to last longer. And if you think about it, you only work for about 30, 40 productive years maximum, and you can retire for 20 years. So if you think about the equation, what you save in 40 years has to last you an extra 20 years, which technically means you should save 50% of what you earn. You can't do that. Therefore, you've got to be, the word's not more aggressive about investing, but you can't take retirement for granted. You've got to make it a goal to be rich. I use rich in a very loose term, because you have to think about the fact that you might be living a lot longer than you thought. And that's an important fact, and that's why I'm an equity man. I like to invest in businesses, because that's one of the ways in which you actually can build your money. You know, I've always said, don't hold money, because no one's ever got rich holding money, or no one's got wealthy by merely holding money. You have to work on your wealth. How does one build a career? I think where a lot of young people go wrong is, number one, they pursue money rather than enjoyment. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're never going to be happy. You're going to be miserable. And the only way you can actually build a career is to have fun and enjoy what you're doing. When you enjoy what you're doing, you learn more about it and you become a lot more productive. And what I find, having been around for so many years, is that too many people give up too early. I don't say you must give up, but they don't give them a chance. And also they want to rise to the top too fast. So I reckon that 20 to 30 is your learning time. 30 to 40 is the time that you actually put in practice what you learn. And from 40 years old, that's actually the time that you actually become more productive, and you actually give not only back to the business in which you're in, but also to society. But everybody wants to fast track, and there's nothing worse than retiring at the age of 40, because you've got a long time ahead with nothing to do, even if you have made great wealth.